Good evening. Tonight I'm going to try for you guys Pig's Nose blended Scotch whiskey. Pig's Nose is one of those scotches that have a funny name like Sheep Dip, which I have a bottle of Sheep Dip as well. That just, you think it's a marketing scheme. I don't know how long Pig's Nose, I've never researched Pig's Nose. I don't know how long it's been around. I know Sheep's Dip's been around since about the 70s. Really got started in the 80s. I don't think it made it to the States until the 90s, but don't quote me on that. But Pig's Nose, I really don't know. It's a unique blend, to say the least. It's 40% ABV. It is bottled and produced for the Spencerfield Spirit Company. Jim Murray gives a little, they use a Jim Murray quote on the front. A big, sweet, chunky, gawky, grain-lashed, but hugely enjoyable blend. Jim Murray, the Whiskey Bible. Let y'all see the bottle there a little bit. First class malts blended with high quality grain whiskey, handmade, small batch, gentle, creamy, sweet, touch of spice, slight coastal butter, caramel, orange peel, black pepper, soft and smooth as a pig's nose. As it says on the back, an exceptional whiskey smoothness is rooted in using only the finest first class malt whiskeys and marrying these with gentle grain whiskies to produce a Scotch whiskey that is truly as soft as a pig's nose. Now, I've been around pigs enough to I've felt their noses before, and they're soft and everything, but how you would transfer that to the palate is pure marketing, just a unique play on words. But it's interesting nonetheless. And also, it's got a cat on the back of that. I don't really quite understand the cat, unless it's like a Kleinlish thing, which I'm not sure. Bottled in Scotland for the Spencerfield, imported by Frederick Wildman Sons Ltd, New York, New York. Anyway, bought it back in July when I was on my trip to Colorado. It was a small store, and seen it, and it was a good price on it. I think I paid $26, $27, something like that, which is, I've seen it a little more expensive around Wichita, but it's a pretty good price for around there. It's a couple bucks cheaper. You're never going to see it much more than that. It's a good medium honey color, golden honey color to it. Thin, but slow running, narrow legs that bunch together. It's pretty viscous stuff. They say it's 5 years old, but it's kind of unconfirmed. I've seen it on a lot of other reviews and things like that I've read. But I didn't get on the website with it, which I probably should have done. But so it's an unconfirmed, but 5 years is what I've seen wrote down for it. So we'll just run with that. Nose up front grain, maltiness. Vanilla, honey, them candy orange slices that are covered in sugar. Kind of sort of that fake orangey taste, but they're pretty good, but they're just super sweet. A little smokiness in that palate, and that nose, just a little bit, just a trace. Maltiness and graininess hits you up front. the vanilla, some honey. A little bit of smoke develops. Now it's transitioning into the finish. As it transitions into the finish, I pick up orange again. Those little candy oranges. And salty. Kind of very salty. And there is a little bit of spice there, but it's an indescript spice. It's not a up front, slap you around in your nose spice. There's enough spice to listen to me. There's enough spice to offset some of that sweetness. I would personally like to have a little bit more spice. It would create more of a balance. But I think this is designed to be sweet because it's really geared for sweet tooths. This is a very sweet Scotch, blended Scotch. And it's even a little bit more salty. I think the saltiness combining with some of the spiciness does create more of a balance than what I'm giving it. Because you have that salty sweet dynamic going on. And then you've got a faint spiciness that's coming up behind it. And you're changing into that orange taste as it's finished. It's got a medium finish, a good mouth coating, as you would expect from a sweet Scotch. But it doesn't finish more than medium in length. I'm going to do the typical burp that I always get, and that bugs the heck out of me. It's not done yet either. Excuse me so much. That's good. I really like this stuff. It's everything that Cutty Sark and Johnnie Walker Red wants to be. They start off fairly well, and then they both finish quick with the nasty grain. The grain whiskey they're using in this marrying process with this really accentuates the malts. Right? And I use Cutty Sark and Johnnie Walker Red as a comparison in this ideal, because Johnnie Walker Red's price range is just about the same as this. Cutty Sark's a little cheaper, but in a lot of ways they're strikingly similar. Whereas they start off pretty well. You get the malts up front, but the malts give way to the grain whiskey, and the grain whiskey just doesn't compensate. It doesn't help. It doesn't accentuate. In this case, the grain whiskey actually accentuates. They're using a good grain whiskey, to my way of thinking, that helps highlight the malts in this. I think it's pretty good stuff. I'm going to give it an 84 out of 100. Give it a try if you can find it. It's definitely worth just giving a try. If you could find a smaller thing, I've always encouraged that, a 50 mil or something along those lines, but I don't know if they make such a thing for pig's nose. But if you could find it, it'd be worth trying that way first. Or if you know somebody, or if you go into a bar that has it, definitely give it a spin once. You might find you like it too. I really kind of do. I think I've said about all I can think to say on this, so I want to tell everybody have a good evening. Remember, the spirit in your glass isn't running from you. Take your time, sip and enjoy it. You'll be better for it, as will we all. Good night.